are listening to the General Conversation Podcast. I'm Valerie.
This is Cord.
This is season 3, episode 10. How are you doing today, Cordero?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. How
So you
about
got a
yourself?
new do?
Yeah, I got a little something different. Know what I'm saying? I got a little something different. Trying to. This they call this a protective hairstyle. I believe they refer to
Okay.
that. You know,
It
I heard.
looks, for the audience out there, it looks like he got little plaques all over his head. It kind of gives you the idea of Koi, the singer, or I would say Pop Smoke, but it's not really Pop Smoke because they're a lot smaller,
I
like
was
little
gonna say.
plaques all over.
I was gonna say buckwheat, but
Because they short, yeah.
yeah,
But they're short, but like they're plaits all over his head. But okay,
yeah,
you trying to let your hair grow out more and more?
yeah. So I was gonna just keep this in for about a month. You know what I'm saying? See how I roll. See if it stay that long.
Okay.
I'm a little over 2 weeks in now.
Oh, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so we just gonna go ahead. You sent some topics. You want to go ahead and start this thing off?
Yeah, we're gonna start staying off. These are just kind of like situation scenarios, if you will. What ifs, what would you do type of thing going on. So, all right, so here's the first one. You ready to jump into this, Valley? You ready to jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. If you were getting married and at your wedding, your significant other tells you they were intimate with one of your family members years ago, but did not know you were related until today, how would you deal with it?
Okay. Um, I think the timing will be off. Like, why you telling me at my wedding? Like, this is supposed to be happy. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Like, you should have told me that beforehand. In the
Ah,
sense of like, wait a minute, I know the
okay.
person didn't know, I know the guy didn't know. Maybe he saw her at the wedding, but
Mm-hmm.
if you really think like, babe, I gotta tell you something. We just got married. I slept with your cousin, Sheena, and I just want you to know. Don't tell me that at my wedding.
Okay.
Like, here's the
Okay.
thing: the fact that he didn't know and it was years ago, especially depending on, I got cousins all over. So
Right.
in my instance, it wouldn't make me a difference really, especially if it was years ago. The only thing is, it's like, don't but why you bring this up now? You could have told me, I mean, after the fact, like, I want to tell you this. I understand him trying to be, but not my wedding. That's like my birthday. Don't come telling me stuff on happy occasions. Like, hey, I just want to let you know this. I did not know. And it is what it is. I think it's about timing
Mhm.
and the situation. So how would you do? How would you feel about that?
I think for one, yeah, I think it would be timing. And then I think it would be like depending on which cousin it was or family member it was or something like that. Um, I think my only stipulation would be like, don't y'all ever bring this up to me again. Like, let's not ever mention this again ever
Like,
in
I
life.
appreciate the honesty of it all,
Right.
but I just feel like, I think, and I understand like the person not knowing,
Hmm.
right? And I'm only saying cousin because like, you should know who the person's siblings are,
Right. Exactly.
depending
Exactly.
on
Exactly.
how y'all family dynamic is. Like, you know, if you slept with my sister, like,
Right.
don't play. Like, so like that's why I said, for me, like a cousin or something like that.
A distant relative of some sort.
Yeah, somebody I don't really know, but they at the wedding or whatever, or you find out later, and maybe they ain't at the wedding, but you just happen to, oh, somebody by the way of mouth say whatever. I appreciate the honesty of it all, but not then. Like, you just told
Okay.
me that. Don't tell me at the honeymoon neither. Like, let us do this and be like, no,
That's all
for
to
real.
ask
Like,
you.
I'm trying to, don't, cause I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to be in a space with you.
Right.
I want you to tell me, but unless it's something detrimental to my, like, gonna be detrimental to my health, that's not gonna be detrimental to my health. If I'm married to you, like, we already got this bond, then it is what it is. As long as this
Okay.
ain't nothing like you crazy or you got something or whatever, like, yeah, then you tell me. But in this case, like, you slept with some whoever years
Right.
ago,
Right.
like,
Right.
I really could care less.
That's I was gonna ask you. So, what for you? When will be a good time to tell you? Not during the wedding, not during the honeymoon. I guess it's some period. Any period after that will be fair game, or when will be a good
Yeah,
time?
any period after my the honeymoon. Like, tell me, let's say we get married Sunday, we go to the honeymoon Friday. and we get back on Wednesday, you can kill me that Friday and take me out to dinner. And don't just say it like you know I slept with your cousin. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't.
That's what I'm trying to
Do
figure out
that.
because I think a lot. Because I mean,
Nah, I want you to be like, babe, I got something to tell you, and give me the reason behind. Because even if I might be like, ugh, but at the end of the day, because I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like I don't want to think about my person with nobody that I know like that.
right? It close
But
like
at
that.
the same time, it's like I appreciate your honesty. If you was like, well, I just waited because it's like it was the wedding day, and I found out on the. It depends on when you find out. Now, if you find out before the wedding, we're gonna have an issue. But if you found out like at the wedding because like, hey, your uncle came up to me and he was like, hey, yeah, my daughter is whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or I saw her at the wedding. Then it's like. Okay, like I'm not really going. I'm like, okay. And then you say, like, okay, I didn't tell you then just because, but don't be waiting like 8 years. Go. I'm like, I probably laugh. I'm like, why you wait? Like, man, look, I had to make sure we was in the clear.
Right, because that was good.
I had to make sure we was gonna laugh.
Way in the clear. I was trying to make way in the clear.
I had to make sure we had a kid about me first. Let me know I ain't
Really?
going nowhere. I'm like, this nigga. And then, but yeah, don't tell me at the wedding. Like,
I feel you. Okay, what if you found out like a couple days before the wedding though? I know I'm adding extra shit too, but what if you find like a few days before the wedding? Like, you meet people when you coming together like that, and it might be like 2 or 3 days before the wedding. You like, oh shit. And he like, hey,
long as it ain't like no immediately, like long as it ain't my sister, my first cousins, I think we're gonna be all right.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Because the main thing in the statement you said he did not know.
Right.
And if you got a big family or people scattered all over, it's just like,
yeah,
I mean, it's a small world.
Because
And
sometimes
I was already, it's already more women than men, so it's like, oh, okay.
All right, cool. All right. I think that's a fair answer. A fair scenario. She said, don't tell me the wedding day, don't tell me the honeymoon.
That's just my preference. Now, you might be different. You might feel different, Cordero. I'm just saying for me, don't be just like don't yuck my yum. Like if I'm in a space and it'd be different if she like, yeah, I got a baby with your kids, and I just find like that's a whole nother scenario. But just I had a relationship with her, I smashed her, or whatever. It's like, okay.
I think for me, like it don't. Like I say, it's never a right time to tell me no shit like that. But
But I think the context too, like if it was in college or years and years ago or high school, like it's kind of like, or when y'all wasn't together, it's just like that's the main thing, y'all went together and it had been some time. It's kind of like, okay, you don't want to hear that,
right?
But it's like, oh,
I think I'll be like, thanks for telling me. I appreciate it. Now I know. But this is gonna be the first and last time we ever.
Like, here's the thing. I'm not gonna take off or like feel or give him missed signals on the fact that like he's being honest. Like I gotta appreciate that. It's just when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's just when you're like, it's about what it is. Like I can appreciate the honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I appreciate that. But like, yeah, don't tell me if like in this case, in the scenario, the guy finds out at the wedding. Like, okay, well,
right, okay.
Because I don't know, I probably would say that to my if I find out the wedding, I'm like, oh, that's his cousin. Okay.
Oh boy, it's gonna be an awkward conversation right now.
No, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Stupid. Who are you?
I don't know this. Who is this man? I don't know this man.
Never seen this before in my life.
In my life.
All right, cool. All right, I think that's a fair answer. I like that. It's a very logical answer too. Yeah, I can roll with that. I definitely roll with that. All right, so I guess we move on to the next one then. All right, your significant other gets you to take a big gamble with a large sum of money, and it devastates you financially, or devastates both of y'all financially. How would you deal with it?
See, I gotta break down this whole question because your significant other, so he not my husband, so he my boyfriend. See, these are titles I need to know because it makes a difference.
Okay, so you want to do both of them? You want to just cover both of them then? We want to say boyfriend and we'll say husband to cover both of them.
So, as far as boyfriend, I ain't taking no gambles with him. So we.
Okay, so we can X that out.
When it comes to financials, Your money is over there. This is my money, and if you got something good, okay, that's you. I'm not taking no gamble with no man that's not my husband.
Okay, we'll X that out then. He can't. Yeah, we good with
So
that. So
how about you then? This might be a question for you.
trying to think. Would I take a financial gamble? It depends on what I'm gambling on.
Okay.
It depends on what I'm gambling on. If I feel confident, like she's like, hey, I know we can make money like this. We can put our money in here, whether it be just investing in something like that, or investing in a business, or investing in something that's gonna make a flip. And she's like, yeah, we can invest in this. I've seen this work before, and if it makes sense to me and I do it and it tank, I because I made the decision to do it, I might have to just bite that. I might have to just eat that.
Well, here's the thing. This is what you said to me. Your significant other get, I think, mean gets you to take a big gamble.
Mm-hmm.
So you trusting into them to do it. So that's on you. Like
Right, I have to
whoever,
just eat that.
yeah, with a large sum of money and then it devastates you financially. How would you deal with it? Like I said, at the end of the day, accountability is a big thing. So, like I
Right.
said, you listen to your boyfriend or your husband, that's on you. The way I read it when you first said it, I mean, now that I read it, I see it's like you doing everything. Even though the person told you about it and said this is a good investment, you're
Mm.
doing it on your own. It's not like y'all combine money. I don't know why when you just said it, I thought you were saying like it was y'all money. And it's like,
Right.
I don't know, but okay, so I mean, yeah, I mean that's an easy one in the sense of like I'm very skeptical in the way anyway when it comes to financials. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have to do my own research. So if I do my research and I feel like it's a good investment, depending on what it is, um, then I'm very big on accountability. And if it's something that I chose to do and I research it, I'm not never gonna be the one person like by word of mouth. Somebody tell me something. I get told stuff all the time. And I have to do my own research on it. And if it pans out, then it works. And I'm the kind of person I gotta wait on it. Like so I might miss the next big thing, to be honest, because I'm one of the people like you could have been told me about some Bitcoin, but I'm the kind of person like I'll check it out in a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm that kind of
Nah,
person.
I
It's
feel you.
it's rare that I just invest my money. Depending if I just got abundance of it. Like sometimes I am in stages in my career where sometimes I do have extra to invest in certain things. And so I
Mm-hmm.
will, if I do the research for it, I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. I can do that. Because I always try to think of, okay, if I lose this money, that's what I'll be losing. I'm not really a gambler anyway, like casinos and all that other stuff. So yeah, for me, I'm very financially frugal. So when I do try to invest in something and it doesn't go well, I feel like I could be like, well, I did my research. I thought it was going to do something and it didn't. And then it's on me. But I think if you were saying like you gave somebody some money, I think to shake this up, what you should have said, you give your significant other that took some money, y'all share the account. He done took some money.
They
Your
fucked the
significant
money
other
up.
took your money, talking he was gonna flip it, and then it devastates you. Now, that's some shit right there. I done heard people talk about that how I gave someone some money or they went in my account. Like, okay, let me just to get off track for just a second.
Go
It
ahead. Go
has
ahead.
to
All
relate.
right. All right.
It has to relate to this, but I've been watching like little story times on YouTube. It's like my fun pastime. I don't know why, and I've been hearing about these people's story times. How like, my boyfriend scammed me out of money. I be like, I ain't do that. It's not funny, but I really
No.
mean what I say. Like, I've been in situations where I've lent somebody something. My mom always told me, like, if you loan somebody some money, don't expect it back. Like, let that be basically what she's saying is let that be money that you ain't gonna miss because some people
Right.
don't have the same time of paying you back on your timeline or ever. So if you're gonna do something, don't do it with the intent of you not gonna get it back.
Right.
And so
You're not gonna miss it.
I don't loan money. I have out in the past, yes. And here, anyway, back to the story time. So it's so many story times where it's like the women are saying how they got scammed and he went in my I gave him first he goes by I gave them some money and I'm like I understand you in a relationship with this person or sometimes they just be whatever, but let's say they in a relationship. The first thing is I feel like this, and y'all can write down or comment below. I think it's weird when a grown able-bodied man asks a woman for money, especially somebody you dating, period. Because it's like, I know everybody have hard times, but just the way I am and how I grew up, I just think it's weird when a man asks for some money and or he ain't never got no money. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, then what is it? What are you doing to get? Like, I'll help you to a point, but not necessarily financial. Like, is your job? Do you need a better job? Do you need a second job? Like, I'm that kind of thing. Like, I'll be a cheerleader in that sense, but don't come ask me for no money. You understand? So already that the way I see you gonna be looking different if you gotta come ask me for some money. Now, have I given men money, like somebody I've been in a relationship with some money and got it back? Yes, and that's because, but that was over time. That was some years.
He had 10
Look, it's more than a 90-day period with me, like the work job. You're like, you got, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, and that got it right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't have all of it. It was like, okay, that's different. And by that time, I had been with him for so long that it wasn't really he ain't never asked me for nothing. It wasn't a habit. So when I listen to these women's story and they talking about he ain't got this, he need that, I did this. And I'm like, well, one, that's self accountability, because you ain't gotta do nothing. Like, I don't care that he with you. He might just be broke. You with a broke dude. Like, he ain't got no money, but you giving him money. And I think sometimes people that are users, and this go for women too, that are users, people will try you to see what they can get away with, and they will try you like, oh, I'm short here, or give you a sob story here. And if they ain't paid you back, this for anybody, your mama, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your significant husband.
Speak on it.
If they didn't gave you the first lump, what they gave, I don't care if it was $20. If they ain't gave you the $20 back, then why you keep giving them money? Like, so when you supposed to get the $20, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not understanding how you keep giving and giving and giving, and like, oh, he used me. And I'm like, you use yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you played yourself, because it's like, whatever. Now, I do listen to some story times when people like, oh, I got used, or oh, somebody scammed me, and like, it literally was somebody that was dating who actually stole from them. And I'm like, you got to be more careful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I come from an era of where we really didn't vet people. And what I mean by that is, like, social media is very prevalent. You can Google somebody, search somebody. I used to feel weird about trying to, like, I'm like, I don't really do all that. Like, I just meet you, and then I find, sooner or later, I find out you trash. But I ain't, these days, it's so easy to kind of like find out stuff about people if you really want to. You know what I'm saying? And if it's somebody that's giving you like thirsty vibes, like, oh, whatever, and all of a sudden he needed money or she needed money, or, oh, I like my nails and my hair done and all that. Like, okay, well, you must be paying for that. Like, I'm just like, I'm just saying though, if that's what you like, that's cool. But like, to be letting somebody like bait you into giving them money, like, oh, I have a hard time. I'm like, it's hard out here for all of us.
Hey,
I
would tell you must be a pimp, because you must be a pimp. It's hard out here for you, ain't it?
For all of us, you hear me? Like, I'm not, listen, and just because I have money, say that's not money for you that I'm like, one day I'm gonna give me a man. As soon as he got a hard time, I'm gonna be able to help him. That ain't never in my thought process have I thought, let me help. No, you know what I'm saying? So I think people have to realize that. But, and then scamming, like, especially we live in Georgia, Atlanta, specifically closer to the city. And when I tell you, people will scam you in Korea, China. People definitely scam you in Atlanta. So it's like, you just kind of vet. You need to vet who you with and see what they about. And it's just a lot of craziness going on. But yeah, like, be cautious with your heart, be cautious with your money, be cautious with your time too. Because time, you can't get your time back messing with no foolishness. You understand? You can't be messing with, so just be mindful when people start baiting you or start saying it's hard. Well, I guess we can't go on no dates then, because if you broke, you don't need to be trying to date nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you broke, whether you a woman, man, whatever, like my mom always told me this too. You go on a date, I'm the kind of person I expect for the man to pay. I know we got these new age females out here who like, oh, we go on a date. If I ask you, like, okay, cool, woo, woo, woo. But what I'm saying is, we go on a date. I'm expecting you to pay. But please believe, I'm always gonna bring money with me. And my mom always taught me that. She like, look, have your own money so that you can, you know what I'm saying? Boom, I pay for my meal. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, she didn't have to say this because this when I wasn't dating anyone the Uber time. But have you a way, like if he come pick you up or if you go there, have money to get back home is what I'm saying, and have money to pay for your meal because unfortunately, some of these men be out here trying to date and and be foolishness. Talk about let's go halvesies. Listen, I don't know this life. I don't.
You said new age.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I feel you.
All right, you got another topic. Would you be willing to give up one of your life goals to have what would be a perfect relationship in everywhere, in every aspect?
It was supposed to be in every other aspect. I'm sorry, I mistyped that.
Okay, so answer that, Cordero. Would you be willing to give up one of your life goals to have a perfect relationship in every other aspect?
In all fairness, I think maybe one, depending on which one it is, but I might be willing to sacrifice one. But just one. It depends on which one it is, but I might be able to let one of them go. Cause I gotta go to like leave the country and shit like that. That's one of my life goals. I got a few other things that I want to do. But if it's gonna be kind of like, okay, you can either let this one thing go, and your relationship, and for if in your relationship will be perfect in other aspect, then I think I might let one, depending on what it is.
Then, like, give an example of what it would be. Then, like, what are some of the goals you have?
Like getting my dream car or something like that, because the money could be better spent somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
They'll give them one of my dream cars is a Dodge Viper. You're like, well, we can spend money on a Dodge Viper, or we can put the money towards something else, that'll benefit both of us. I might give that up. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm just reading what you sent, and it said, "Will you be willing to give up one of your life goals to have?" But how would that make your relationship be perfect everywhere else?
No, I'm saying it wouldn't make your relationship be perfect, but I'm saying if would you be willing to give it up if your relationship will be good? It's good in every other aspect. Because some people these are my goals. This is what I want to accomplish, and if you're not down with that, get out my life. Right. But so let's say you have your list of goals, and this person had a list of goals, and let's say the direction y'all trying to go, one of your goals can't be met, but your relationship is perfect in everything else. Every aspect of your relationship is perfect. Y'all get along, the family gets along, y'all got good chemistry, how y'all disperse money is good, y'all have an understanding on everything else, except for this one goal. Y'all have a disagreement about this one goal, this one thing.
Oh, a car is a car. Okay, so like in your case, you want to leave the country, what the person don't want to leave the country, like don't want to.
I don't know, that one would take some thinking. That would take some thinking.
Because you said a car, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure you want that car, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like if your idea is to leave and live somewhere else, that's like a bigger,
Right. That's
what I mean by a car. Not saying that the car isn't expensive or doesn't mean something to you, but to get a car, you can be anywhere and get that car. As far as uprooting your life and moving into another country and adjusting to that with someone else takes a lot more.
That's why I said it depends on which goal it is. Okay. Really depends on which goal it is.
Okay, so I hate to break it down, but I'm gonna break it down. So for me, when I read that last one, I was just like, why is there sacrifice? Like, okay, a relationship there's compromise, of course, right? But I'm like, I feel like there's some things that I don't think you should have to sacrifice. Like if my life's missions and goals and things I want to do in life, like let's say to start my own business and things like that, and he's like, no, I don't want you to work, then he ain't the person for me. So in my mind, it's like I shouldn't have to sacrifice like what I want to do. And I know sometimes people do and then they regret it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I choose to not do something, I want it to be on my own term, not because I'm afraid of losing somebody, because at the end of the day, the person that's for me is going to know that this is important and we are going to work something out. I don't think a person should have to give up their entire, like their goals, their life goals. Like to me, it sounds like a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For a person that you're saying you're gonna have this relationship with. And all that makes me think is that person is not the person for you, because I don't think they would ask you to. You need to get with somebody that's gonna, y'all gonna complement each other. So that's how I feel about it. Like there's some things that you have to compromise on, but I think it's smaller things than that. I don't think you feel like you're giving up X, Y, and Z. You're
Mm-hmm.
not giving up your life goals. I mean, that's important to have things in your life that you feel like you should be able to fulfill, that will make you better and help build a relationship, right? So that's how I feel about that. So that's how I was like, I don't know. And then the second part of that is I don't think there is nowhere that there's not a perfect anything. So I think to say that you will have a perfect relationship if this happens, it kind of reminds me of like, if only I do this, then I know this will be perfect. Or you basing it off of fear. I wouldn't want to date somebody and be like, okay, well, if I act this way, or if I do this, or if I give up this, and we good everywhere else, like everything will be perfect. Like one, there's no perfect. Okay, there's days that's better than others, and there's things that y'all are really like y'all really are strong at. There's some areas that relationships can be very strong in, right, okay, but it ain't a perfectness. It works for you guys, and that's that. But you shouldn't have to be like, okay, I feel like that's on some fear type situation where it's like, okay, I'm gonna give up this because I know this is gonna make my relationship perfect. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that that's just insane to think that way, and to think that it's like, okay, it reminds me like OCD, like you know they always clean, they always like doing stuff because it's like they afraid that if they see a speck of dust that
It's
whole
gonna be a
world gonna crumble
problem.
down.
It's a
And
problem.
it's like, okay, good God, like you got to be so um tightly wound if you believe that way. Like that's that. If you have that kind of thinking, you definitely need to like seek some kind of therapeutic stuff. Somebody that has is trained, because I don't think that if you think things are perfect and there's a perfect relationship, I think that's a falsity. I think that if you think that, oh, if I just do this, this will get the outcome. Like life don't work like that, because people don't work like that. It's just not. So I don't even know how I would answer that, because I just think that the whole statement is, it seems very fear based. It seems very like you got to sacrifice something. Like what year am I living in? I'm like,
No, you.
wow.
I think you answered the way you interpreted the question, so that's cool.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's how I feel. Like what year are we living in? And I feel like I got to sacrifice. Like I can give up my kids so that I can have this lifestyle. Like,
Say fuck them kids. Nah.
uh-oh.
No, but I was thinking, because I sure was thinking, more of like, something like, well, the way I answered it, it was like, yeah, I guess I can let that dream kind of go, maybe. How much I like you, I don't know. It's very evaluate some shit. Carry this one.
You silly.
But yeah, those were my three little situation scenarios, if you will, questions. Anything to add, take away, Valerie?
Okay, so for the first one, my takeaway of what I would say on that one is just, appreciate the person being honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
but also like life is too short and that person makes you happy, then that should be the reason, and y'all meant to be, if y'all got a solid foundation, then everything else shouldn't really matter. To the person that's trying to tell, again, the honesty, that's, I think for a lot of people that works. Some people say take that to your grave. Don't never say nothing. But even if you decide to tell the person, like, be mindful. I think it's a way to be courteous about it. Be
Mm-hmm.
mindful of when you decide to tell the information, because timing does matter.
Okay.
Okay. The second one, Like I said, I'm not just, I think the main thing about this,
Yo, wait. Talk about, yo, when I thought about money, I said I'm gonna get it with this one right here. I was like, yo, this is this money question. I was like,
this
I'm gonna get you right
it,
here.
it ain't never gonna get me because I ain't never got to worry about. Listen, I don't
You
have
should
them
see
kind
your
of
face.
problems.
You should see your face, dog.
Right. Because I'm just like, I ain't got them kind of problems.
Hit a
But
nigga,
if you
please.
decide, if you're one of them people that like you give like that freely, I think you should, put, in this particular situation, the person told you about us, your person told you about something, you took a big gamble. It says you, it didn't say they took a big gamble. It said you took a big gamble.
Mm-hmm.
That means do your research, okay? And then research some more and wait on it. But if you do decide to jump in and invest money and you take a loss, like that's investments though. You will lose
Mm-hmm.
some, you will gain. So, but hold yourself accountable because just because the person said, "Hey, you should invest in Digimites or something," and they're gonna be the next big thing. Well, just don't take somebody's word for it and do your research and talk to an investor and talk to somebody who knows something because depending on what your significant other is, they might have just heard it on the street or
True.
read an article. It's so
True.
many times people
True.
read something and send it to you like it's gospel. It's like, okay, so because you read it, it's supposed to be like, it's
The
a hit and miss
gospel.
with that. Right. So if you have to be accountable for the actions you take. So if you the kind of person that feel free to feel like, oh, well, what I'm saying, I can get the money back, I can make the money back, it ain't no thing, then you do your thing, invest and just take it on the chin. But if you the kind of person like moi who, do what? Okay, well, let me give me the article. Where's the article come from? See, okay, now where the money, okay, let me see. Oh no, okay, let me top the cup. No, okay, then do your research. And then even then I'm kind of like, well, I'm gonna give you $10.
You said $10. Hey, yo.
Listen, I got to know. I need, I'm not a gambling person. Okay. I'm a for
Right.
sure thing kind of situation. So it depends on your personality and what you're comfortable with. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
like 401ks. You can invest a lot in certain things and stocks or whatever, or you can invest. It's like investing. You know what I'm saying? You know what kind of investor you are. You know what you're saving for and what your goals are. So do what you need to do for yourself and what you're
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with. But you can't blame anybody if it don't work out unless they stole your money.
Mm.
And that's a whole nother thing. That's when you have to whoop their ass.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna say about that.
Really had the biggest nigga, the biggest nigga please look I've ever seen her display. It's just like,
Child.
the biggest nigga please.
The last one, I already touched on this and went into it. Basically, the whole throw the whole question away because I'm not willing to give up something. Now, I do change my mind on my goals
Mm-hmm.
sometimes or what I want to do. Um, but I also do that too because I am a single person. So I'm not married. So I don't really have to, sometimes I will say this, it's a partnership when you get married and you should have individual goals that you want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to be mindful that like when you get married, it's a partnership and you have to say, hey, like somebody wanting to leave their job and start their own business. Um
Mm-hmm.
that's a big change and a big life change for the both of you guys. It's not just one person. Just like, oh, I want to live in another country. Or I want to, when it's big things like that, or I want to invest my money in whatever. Okay. So did you do your research? It's kind of like it's certain things when you are married that you have to take you have to consult with your person like if that's a good partnership, you know what I'm saying. It's just like a business partner. You wouldn't just go invest the money or buy some stuff that you wouldn't tell your business partner about. I mean, a relationship, a marriage is the same way, you know what I'm saying. And so if you already have goals that you are trying to meet when you meet this person, I don't think you should have to dumb yourself down or take away from yourself your life to do that. Now if you want to make the decision on your own to be like, you know what, I decided it's not that big of a deal if I move out the country. Like that's not something that's important to me because I know how this person feels about X, Y, and Z. Then okay, that's a decision that you're making. But don't think that because you took something off your list, so to speak, that all of a sudden you're gonna have this perfect relationship and you know this will make everything better, because you know what's going to happen is going to be resentment, because if it's like everything else is good with this person and then you take something off your list and like, okay, well, see, I took this off my list because this made us happy because we was good everywhere else. Because sometimes you can be, let me tell you, you can be good in areas in the beginning and then later on you can fall off in the area, and then you can get better in certain areas and the areas that matter to you can fall. So like that's how relationships go. Like some things, huh?
So that's why I was, when you was getting to that, I was waiting for you to get to that part right there. I figured you
Yeah.
hit that,
So it's like don't always be like, you know, it's not a sacrifice that you should be doing. It should be a compromise, and that's what I want people to pay attention to. Do you feel like you sacrificing something, or do you feel like, no, we had a conversation and I'm just compromising because I know this is gonna be somebody that I plan to live the rest of my life with.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying when you want to have a relationship. Because if you're doing this, I'm just gonna be honest, this is my opinion. If you're doing this for a boyfriend and girlfriend, like, I know everybody end goal isn't to get married, but what are you doing at the end of the day? Unless y'all been together 15, 20 years, you know, y'all come a lot of marriage, whatever y'all want to call it. But it's like, what are you doing this for? Like, oh, okay, we good. We got this great relationship in these aspects, but it's just this I need to give up. So there's no such thing that you can give something up and it's gonna make everything better in the sense of like your goals. If your goal is your goal, especially if it's something to better yourself, like now. When I say this, I don't know why it just popped in my head, but I ain't talking about you trying to be a rapper in your 40s. I want to say that for the people in the back.
Speak on it.
Just for the people in the back.
Speak on it.
And with this, I met this girl. She don't want me to be spending this money on this rap because, you know, I'm hot. It's just like playing basketball or sport. Everybody you might be good. You might be a good rapper. She might have came to some of your shows. But you don't want to be 45 talking about you the best.
Listen, then
you need to have that second job. You need to have enough income that it don't touch none of your money if you invested in that. Like, I'm not saying don't do your passion, but like sometimes if you got kids, you got to be there for their game. Like, it's just, come on, bro. It got to make sense. If you talk about you still want to be, I don't know what women want to be. Some women, I don't know, a dancer. You know, is your body still fit for the dancer? Can you still fit in the lips? Like, what are you doing? Are you training? Are you still at that? You know, because bodies only last so when you do stuff like physical aspects, you got to keep your body
window. There's a window.
There's a window of it. You know what I mean?
She could be R&B singing too, rapping too. You know what? She got that career. She like, look, I'm hiding these streets right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's just that don't think that like, okay, I'm giving this up because this is gonna make it better. Like, there's no perfect anything. And that's just my thought process.
That was a good. I like how you dove into that part, especially that thing where you use if you give it up, the resentment part that you mentioned. You know, and are you gonna be resenting this? And then also how you went to, is this you giving it up, or would it be better like can y'all make a compromise, that kind of thing? So I think I was waiting for you to hit that, and you did. So hey, rolling.
You come with a question just to ask me, be like, okay,
I'm gonna see what she gonna say. Like, yo, that money. But I was like, oh, brother, I swear, we could have recorded your face for like 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds. That should have been hilarious as fuck.
I'm like, who is doing that?
Rich, like this nigga. I wish a nigga would.
Because to be honest, like, the statement don't say that. Like, the statement doesn't say that, you know, he took your money or you gave him money to invest or whatever. Right. You did it on your own volition. So it's like, I really can't. You can't be bad at nobody but yourself. Like, so the person is your significant. I keep saying he because you know, but you keep. So the person tells you. I mean, I got good friends. I got parents would tell me. Just because somebody tell me something don't mean I'll go believe it. I'm very skeptical anyway. So, I mean, you could literally be like, oh, this and this and this. And sometimes I got to see it with my own eyes. So, yeah. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes when it comes to investing, that might cause you to lose out on something big. But also for me, I'm just saying for me,
I ain't gotta deal with all that stress. I didn't invest, I didn't win, I didn't play the game, so I didn't win or lose, and it don't make me none.
Right,
You know,
right.
sometimes like you got to play, especially when I'm trying to hustle. Man, you know, to win, you got to at least play the game. Like,
You
no,
don't
I
like
don't.
money? You
No, I
don't like
don't.
money?
No, I don't. I don't care nothing about that.
I'm like, I don't like losing money. Get the fuck out of my face.
Listen, it's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a mindset that like you are okay with, you know, certain things where you don't mind investing and, you know, putting money in certain things and the next big thing you want to, like, sometimes it pays off very well. You know what I'm saying? And in that case, like, you don't contact the person when you win and be like, man, I won. No, you won. You decided to go for it and you played it, you won. So you can't call them back like they lost your money. You lost your money. You lost. So that's why I said when it comes to money, dog, I'm like, it's just one of them things that because growing up, we didn't have a lot of it. I work for everything I have now. And just because I don't want to be in a state of I need, I rather be in a state of like I'm good, I'm comfortable.
Right.
Then for me, we ain't got to talk about money because don't ask me for nothing. Like it's certain people that I would give money to and I won't think nothing about it because I already know it's gonna come right back. Like it ain't a thing. But like I said, for most people they can't say that. They don't know if they're gonna ever see that money again. So it's like
I only got about four people.
so it's just like you got to know who the person you dealing with and what the situation is. And that I'm not saying don't help people out if you have it because sometimes people come on hard stuff or the way the check hit or whatever. You know, things happen. Anything can happen, right? You know, fine, but don't and that's even for when you loan money. You know, if you give somebody some money. And yes, you expect it back. If you know you really ain't got it so long, I don't care if it's $10. You ain't really got the $10 so long, don't loan it out. Even if you got it on you. If you got it, and that person said, I'm gonna check you in 2 weeks, I'm gonna give you the $10. Okay, if you know you're gonna miss that $10 in 2 weeks, you're gonna need it, or you're gonna need it in 3 weeks or a month, don't lend out no $10. Don't lend out the money. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? This is how I feel it.
Now I do because I know I was told the same thing. If you gonna miss the money, if you gonna need it and you gonna miss it, don't. If you know, it's good to say, hey, you didn't tell you I'm gonna pay you back so and so date. Y'all do promissory notes, all kind of shit. If it's something you gonna miss and you gonna need it, I ain't got it.
Yeah,
I ain't got it. I can't do nothing for you, man. Sorry, bro. Hey, listen. You know if I had it, I'd give it to you, nigga.
There you go, live.
You know, if I had it, I'll let you hold it. But you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what old school cats tell you.
I let you hold it. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got it, dog.
That's what the old school cats tell you. But the new school cats be like, man, it's hard out here for everybody.
Yeah. I'm about to ask you for it. You know what I'm saying? I ask you for 20. You know what I'm saying? You asked me for 10, I'm ask you for 20, dog. You know I ain't got
everybody be like, man, they thinking of a lie right there.
that long A, man.
I'm trying to tell you. They ain't saying a word.
Nah.
They ain't tell you nothing. I'm trying to tell you.
he said shit. What you trying to tell?
What are you trying to tell me?
And listen.
And I'm the kind of person I hate just not even money. I'm not really asking nobody for no money, but I hate I hate like asking anybody for something. It makes me, I don't like it. Like if I have to ask you for something, I have to reach deep down to get it. I'm like, oh Jesus. Not some people that don't give me that I don't get that way for because it's just we just got that kind of relationship. But for the most part, it like 90, 80% of the people, I'll go without. I will not ask nobody for nothing. Like if I ask you, it's like because I don't really have no other choice.
Go ahead and fix this peanut butter
like,
and jelly
hey,
sandwich.
I need your assistance with this. That's how I phrase it. And if they can't do it, I just like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'll just you know what I'm saying? See, I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is somebody say they're gonna do it and then don't do it. And you be like,
yeah, because then you ask them and you like, man, I'll fuck you up.
Because it's not I'm dependent on you to do this,
right.
but you know, I'd rather you tell me nah, I can't do it. Then I can be like, okay, because I'm always in thinking mode. Like, okay, well, this can't happen. What's plan B? What's plan C? Like, I be
I
coming
feel
D,
you.
what's E, what's F, what? Okay, let me run down the list, but don't be like, yeah, you can do it and then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people will be like, I asked him for some money, he couldn't even. Like, yeah, he tried probably talk to his wife, but girlfriend like, motherfucker, you ain't got no money.
You gonna loan who some money? You gonna loan who some money?
Don't you owe me some money? Like, oh man, I ain't even got it. Gonna call.
Yeah, exactly. Nigga, you owe me $20. What you talking about?
Out here struggling. But yeah, that's just the lessons of our podcast today. You ain't got it.
Yeah, hey,
Don't
man,
do
look,
it.
there you go. You ain't got it, man. Listen.
Don't do it.
Well, so we're gonna wrap this thing on up, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed listening to us today. Hope y'all
Share
enjoy
our
it.
podcast.
Share podcast. Hope
make
y'all
sure that
taking
you
those
subscribe.
golden nuggets from Valerie
And Cordero.
We're gonna holler at y'all next time.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.